Just relax and choose a comfortable posture. Whatever posture that you feel comfortable, and make yourself as comfortable as you can. So we begin with relax your body, bring your awareness to your body. You pay attention onto your body. How does it feel like in this moment? Is it lots of tension in your body? And you just relax. Just relax your body. If there's any tightness on your face, just put on a smile. When you smile, all your muscles relax. Just relax. Relax your head, your face, your neck, your shoulder, your arms. Just relax. So by relaxing your body is a way of warming up for meditation. Just relax your body. If you notice any tightness or tension in your body, just relax any parts of your body. If there's any tension or tightness, just relax. And now you can bring your awareness to your breath. Begin with taking 3 deep breaths with full attention. If there is any unpleasantness or uncomfortable feelings, especially with the hot seasons because of the heat, the first thing to do is to stop thinking of the unpleasantness. And not try to push it down. Follow your breath and acknowledge that. Follow your breath and bring your mind and body to this present moment to receive this acknowledgement of your feelings. Breathing in, I know the unpleasantness is there. Breathing out, I say hello to the unpleasantness. Breathing in, knowing the unpleasantness is there. Breathing out, we say hello to the unpleasantness. Breathing in, I know the unpleasantness is there. Breathing out, I say hello to the unpleasantness. With each single breath, brings mindful energy. And bring your mind to your body. Just aware what is happening in this moment. If you are thinking, just aware that you are thinking. To recognize that thinking mind and to acknowledge. Just simply recognize what's happening in this moment and acknowledge and make peace with that. Continue to bring your awareness onto your breath with full attention, observing your in and out breath. So we're going to end the meditation section just by counting 3 in and out breath, and you can open your eyes. Okay. So good evening, everyone. I remember, I think what year I've forgotten. Is it in Malaysia? I forgot that I gave a talk that is a topic that is a happiness is a choice. I've forgotten. Huh? 2015, I think so. But actually, to be honest, I forgot what I said. I remember that there was a topic that I spoke that is happiness is a choice. So why this happiness is a choice? You know, no one can really, nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy, isn't it? No person can really make you happy unless you decide to be happy. And sometimes we think that your happiness do not depends on who you are, how much you have, what you have. It doesn't depend on that. And we think that, our happiness the happiness is come within. So we do not seek happiness without. It's come from inside. So actually it's not about, happiness is not about what is happening, it's how we relate to the situation. But we keep thinking that the object, the situation, the environments, that causes suffering, but we don't see that. Actually, you have a choice. You can choose. You see, you can choose to be happy. I remember when I was young. Actually, those who know me, I'm always like that. I'm genuinely a jolly person. Because when I was young, you can ask my nun, they say I'm always giga. Because to me, like even when I was I understand that. To me, I don't carry things that is unhappy. It's not that I've been in denial. Because to me, that what's the point of I focus on things, remember things that is make me unhappy, isn't it? So I rather choose to be happy, to remember things that is happy, and I don't really hold on to things for too long. Like even when I was very young, I don't hold on any grudge. Even sometimes people, being nasty to me or make me upset or whatever, and then I always determine. Okay, I determine this time I'm not going to talk to this person for a few days. Then after maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, if the person talk to me, I completely forgotten. And I forgotten about I shouldn't talk to that person. Then after that, I said, why I talk to that person again? I determined that I'm not going to talk to this person. But actually, I don't see that I think that I should get angry if people upset with me. So I determined to get angry with other people. I said, you should be angry at them because they make you angry. But I just couldn't. I just naturally, I couldn't hold it. Because if you hold on to that, you suffer a lot. I remember some years ago, there was a teenager. She's about in her 19, 18. And her father brought her. and she had problem with drugs problem. And she talked to me, and I look at her, I look into her eyes, I really look at her. I said, I would love to have you. All of us would love to have you, but actually it's your choice. That you have to, it's up to you that whether you want to really have the willingness to really to help yourself. Actually has to come from you. I said, if you don't have the willingness, if you don't help yourself, no matter how hard we try to help her, give her all sorts of Dharma books, give her guided meditation, no matter how hard we do. I said, it's not going to help you, no matter how much we would love to help you. I said, it's your choice. I said, it's up to you. We can only give you support and advice. And she only come for about 2 sessions only with me. And I haven't seen her. So I thought maybe it doesn't work out or whatever. She didn't come. Then after I think about 3 years later, I met her father. And her father told me, oh, I'm so grateful. I thank you so much. My daughter is really doing so well now. And she's really even helping others with drugs problem. And she's doing so well. Then I told him, I said, I really didn't do much. Because sometimes you tell people if they can get the point, they can get it, isn't it? Sometimes if the person can't get it, no matter how much you try to say, you try to explain, they can't get it. Sometimes, but she got it. She has the wisdom, Even I said the same thing to another person, the person might not get my point, but she got my point. So that's what I told her, I said, no, I didn't do really much. But he said, it seems like they try so hard, take her to see different psychology, psychiatrists, all doesn't work. But I said, no, I said, I don't want to take all the credits. I said, it's also come from her, But she got it, Sometimes, if the person haven't got the wisdom, they didn't get it, no matter how hard you try. But she has the wisdom, she really understood what I'm trying to tell her. I said, I put it back to her, I said, this is your choice. If you really want to get out of it, you have to help yourself. We can give you support. Ultimately, you have to help yourself. You don't rely on us. Your happiness is not on us, it's in your own hand. And she got it, she understood that. I remember some years ago, someone said to me, she said, I know that sometimes I'm holding on to things, attached to that, and couldn't let go, and caused me so much suffering, but I still cannot let it go. Why I can't let go? And this person asked me. Then I told this person, I said, because you don't suffer enough. I said, you suffer enough, you let go. It's truly sometimes, and it reminds me of one of the simile the Buddha gave, the 4 thoroughbred horses. Like the first one, the moment the master, just raise the goat, then before hitting, only seeing the shadow, he said, oh, I know what to do. I have to obey to my master. I know what to do. And then the second type of thoroughbred, that you leave and you touch the hair, immediately they know. And then the third one, you have to hit. Yeah, it's a bit painful. And then the fourth one, you have to hit until, you go into you can see the bone and the blood, So I say sometimes people have to suffer a lot. You have to suffer so much, then only you can let that go. That's why I said you take some, depends on individual. I remember many years ago we have one of the postulant nuns come and stay with us, and sometimes like some of the things I tried to point out to her, like she always said to me, I'm not convinced. So okay, I said, you're not convinced, okay. I said, okay, go ahead and do it. Normally, I just let people do. Sometimes you have to allow people to make me say. You have to allow them, when they hit the wall a few more times, then they know that it's hurt. Then they learn. And then you choose not to, isn't it? Sometimes we think that the suffering is out there. It's because of this, because of the situation caused me so much suffering. But we don't see that we have a choice. You can choose not to follow that. You can choose, not to do that. Isn't it? You can choose that. I remember just recently someone been in distress. And this person, and she told me that, and she's been very emotional and really overwhelming with all the whole vaccinations issue. And she felt that there's a lot of distress in her, and she got very, very distressed and emotional. And I told her, actually, that this is just a trigger. Actually, it's come from your conditioning. Sometimes a conditioning that sometimes when maybe childhood or maybe sometimes you experience that distress, and that emotion that hasn't been resolved. So when that hasn't been resolved, whatever then is some similar things happen, is always trigger. I said this is a trigger. Your problem is not really with. Your problem actually is not really come from because of the vaccination. Like you see, other people will not have that reaction. Like you can see sometimes some people, they react to certain things, isn't it? Like to other people, they don't react, But it's because of that's a trigger. And trigger there's some of those unresolved emotion that is been there, it's been not resolved. And I said, then this is how I said you have to look into deeper than that. Look at those your emotion that hasn't been resolved. Actually, it's not what's happening in this moment. This is not really a problem. It's not because of the vaccination, all the issues like, but she thinks that she has to do it. And then she feels that she cannot trust anyone. And sometimes people being, hurt before, and they be betrayed before, and then that they have lots of emotion that hasn't been resolved. And this is just a trigger. So I said it's good that you just look at it, and you have to work on it. You have to let it out because it's not been resolved. Like for example, I have seen some people when they were young, they've been treated unfairly, and then they always have problem with things that they think is always trigger off. They always think that it's unfair. This unfair, that unfair, and it's also come from their past conditioning, your past experience, and you have those unresolved emotions that not been resolved. They say sometimes you can see some people they react to things, more than others, isn't it? Some other people is okay, and they say sometimes that they always perceive that way. Whatever even sometimes the things that other people get, and this person can't get it, they always think that it's unfair. How come I can't get it? And but actually, to be honest, we ask ourselves, what is really fair? Sometimes also, it's also our perception, isn't it? When things goes our way, it's fair, isn't it? Things doesn't go our way, it's unfair because it doesn't go our way. So they say sometimes we think that happiness that have to be always go my way, everything go my way. I can get what I want. That's I'm happy. No, happiness is not that. Happiness is not come from, not come from that you can get everything you want. And then your happiness is not that you have to have zero suffering. And then most people think that to get rid of all my suffering, that I'll be happy. Actually, you have the choice. For example, like this person have this distrust. But to me, I'm always choose to trust. I choose to trust people because it's for my own peace of mind. I don't care. I don't mind. Even sometimes I know sometimes my friends and relatives and my families always think that I'm stupid. Like, how come, you trust people and they betray, they cheated on you? Why you're okay with that? So I said I choose to trust because when I choose to trust, I have the peace of mind. I free myself. Imagine if I always have the distrust. So actually you don't have peace of mind. You constantly think that, oh, this person might do this person might do that to you, isn't it? You never have peace of mind. I said to me that if the person really cheated on me, fine. It's not my problem. I will not bear the consequences of that person being cheated on me. It's that person's problem, it's not my problem. So I choose to trust because it's for my own benefit. And also when you trust someone, it's also you're giving the confidence to that person. That's why you can ask all the nuns. I normally don't check on them. I trust them because when you trust them, they have the responsibility. They know that they have to be responsible for themselves. I'm not going to check on them whether you do this or not. That's why when people ask me, say, is it difficult to train your nuns? I said, not difficult. I never train them. They train themselves. Isn't it? They have to train themselves. My job is to support them, to give them the support, whatever they need. Mentally, physically, I support them. They're responsible for the work. They have to work, they practice, they're responsible for the practice. I'm not the one who's responsible. I'm not like go around and check, whether they done this. But actually when you trust someone, actually the person also develop confidence in themselves. Especially when you feel that you've been trusted. How do you feel? You have the confidence, isn't it? If you're not trusted, you think that you're not good at nothing. Because I can't do anything at all. They don't trust me. I remember many years ago when I visited my family, and someone asked my son a question. I was there. He said, it seems that you look full of confidence, you have the self-confidence. So how did you do that? And I remember my son said that to that person I was there. He said, my confidence actually is come from my mom, her trust in me, because she trusted me. That actually this is how I develop my confidence, because I trust him. I said, because if you don't trust a person, that person think that I'm not good at anything. I'm not trusted. They also don't trust that they can do it. They also don't trust that they are capable. If you trust them, that's why one of the saying that, that if you use the person, you have to trust the person. If you don't trust the person, you don't use that person. So to me, whoever I delegate the job, I locate job for them, I fully trust them. I will not question, I will not ask. And allow people to make mistake. Of course, no one 100%, isn't it, make mistake. So that's why it's a choice. You can choose. Like for example, if someone have done you wrong, been nasty to you, yes, you can choose to get angry at the person. You can choose to develop the hatred towards that person. You can also choose to forgive, isn't it? You forgive that person. If you forgive that person, actually, you free yourself for your own well-being. It's your choice. But if you want to get angry with that person, and then you go on and on and on thinking how terrible the person is, and you develop so much ill will. How is it like when you have lots of ill will? And ill will is a negative emotion, and that drains your energy. You feel so tired because it drains all your energy. So you can always, it's up to you. You can choose to forgive. And if someone upset with you, you can always choose to be kind to the person. So to be kind, And also, if people are upset with you, it's okay. You choose to be kind to the person, and not to get upset because the person upset with you, or the person cannot forgive you, and then you get upset because the person cannot forgive you. But you choose to forgive for not being able to forgive. That is a choice. Your choice. You choose. If you want to choose, suck into that, keep thinking how terrible, go on and on and on and on and on. And you create suffering for yourself. And you have a choice, you choose that. To me, if people, have done me wrong or really been nasty to me, so I practice gratitude, gratefulness, being grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to practice forgiveness. So it's always your choice, isn't it? You want to dwell in that negativities and gets upset and create so much suffering for yourself, go ahead. If you want to suffer, actually no one will stop you. Truly, that's why I told that the last time the postulant nun. I said, okay, go ahead and do it. If you choose to suffer, I'm not going to stop you. No one can stop you, isn't it? If we continue, we want to dwell in that negativity, we want to suffer, who can stop us? No one can stop us. Only we, unless you decided to stop. No one can stop us. It's always come from us. It's a choice. You can choose, that whether you can forgive or not. It's up to you. You want to dwell in the negativities, how bad the person is, how terrible the person is. And then go on, and you are the one who suffer. Then you can choose. I choose to trust. I choose to forgive. I choose to practice kindness. I choose to practice gratitude. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Because it's the harm already been done. What can you do? Isn't it? It's already done. But if we keep revisiting, go on, and we are the one who suffer. It's not that person, isn't it? Maybe that person already already completely forgotten about that. And I choose also not to really bothered by what other people think of me, And because sometimes if we always, concern so much about how people think of you, what people said, you also suffer. So you have a choice. You can choose not to be bothered by them. Like for me, when I give talk, I can tell you, and never ever read all those comments, For me, I don't really care whether they like the talk or they don't like the talk. This is what you get, isn't it? Sorry if you don't like it. This is what you get. I'm doing my best. You see, if you think that it's not good enough, so I can't do better than best. So this is my best. If you think that it's not good enough, not my problem. So this is sometimes a lot of suffering is we ourselves create the suffering. We suffer unnecessarily. You can choose. So I choose not to look at that. I choose not to really concern about how I never go and look at my talk, how many thousand people read, and what is the comments, how many likes. Nowadays you can see the Facebook, how many likes. Thumbs up. No, I don't look at that. I said what done is finished. When I give the talk, finish, it's done. So whatever comments, whether it's how many dislike, how many like, it's not my problem anymore. Actually, you have a choice, isn't it? To choose. If you want to dwell in that negativities, you want to get upset, you want to get angry, you want to get affected by how people think of you, and then you suffer. And actually, that's why I said you have a choice. It's not that you don't have a choice, you can choose. You can choose not to follow that. You can choose not to follow what leads you to suffering. Sometimes we think that that we have to have zero suffering, then only we're happy. Actually, we're in the samsara. Happiness and suffering is just like a two ends of a stick, or a two sides of a coin. So when your suffering ends, you're happy. When happiness ends, you suffer, isn't it? And if people think that they have to have zero suffering, then only they can enjoy happiness, then they be happy. No, you don't have to. I remember, because of this hot season, remind me early days when I was in Thailand, especially April and May is very, very hot. And especially the kuti that we stay, it's just a tin roof. I can tell you, really, really hot, very hot, and then lots of mosquito. The mosquito is just like they come in group. They're just like those those plane. Like there's a bomb. And you have to hide in. And then I have to when I meditate, I have to sit in. I have to have the mosquito net. But imagine. It's so humid, it's so hot, and then you have to hide inside the mosquito net. I can tell you it's really unpleasant. But I don't focus on the unpleasantness. It's okay, it's just unpleasant. I can tell you, I sweat. When I get up, all my cushion all really sweat. I remember once because I sweat a lot, and then because of those insects, ants, and because I sweat a lot, so because a lot of ants come to bite me because I was sitting. Then slowly I feel like why is this that it's really a little bit painful, on my toes. It's just bit, they bite me, and I was bitten by those ants. So then I opened my eyes and see how full of ants. Full. That actually, I tell you, when I was there, I was really happy. Even though I'm not as comfortable as now, like what we have now. But because I don't really focus on that, I don't think that is not a problem. It's not a problem to me at all. That's why sometimes if you think that is a problem, I can tell you, I can guarantee that you will make it a problem. If you think that it's not a problem, it will not be a problem, isn't it? If you think that it's a problem, you will definitely make it a problem. To me, I don't think that it's a problem. That is, how is it? The environment is like that, the situation is like that. If I keep thinking, oh, terrible, why this ant gonna bite me? Oh, why is a lot of mosquito, this terrible mosquito. Imagine I keep thinking on that, how much suffering I have. To me, it's like, this is part of that. I just, recognize and acknowledge and accept that this is how you feel. It's just physical feelings. I mean, it's not that, even though I have that discomfort, but my mind was peaceful. I was peaceful. Actually, I was happy. I was very happy when I was in Thailand. I remember then, and when I was asked to come back, Jamayama asked me to come back. Because I was waiting for my visas to be approved. And then I was hesitant, shall I come back? Because I'm quite happy there, Then I was thinking, but I have to keep my promise because I promised that they already applied visas and waiting for me to come back. I cannot just say that I'm not coming back. So I said, okay. I was thinking, oh, I'm quite happy here. I just want to stay put. I don't want to go anywhere. Even with all that, I remember once also, I was bitten by lots of those tiny ants, a lot. I can tell you how badly I was bitten. My whole neck, my back, my arms is all just swollen, bitten by ants, because the kuti full of ants. And then the other lady saw me and she helped me with the tea tree oil, apply for me because of I've been bitten. She said, how come you just stay there and let the ants bite you? I said, where can I go? I said, at night in the kuti, I can't go anywhere. I have nowhere to go. I said, I have nowhere to go. And then I ended up that I have to get those insects, those ants, you have those chalk. Yeah. So I draw. So when I have to sleep mindfully, not outside. They give you, we have no mattress, you just give you a mat. So I give you a mat, you just lie on the mat, it's not, actually it's not very comfortable, but I don't know, because when your mind at ease, the physical suffering you don't feel as much, you don't feel that, because the mental suffering is greater than the physical, I don't really bother me at all. Then I have to sleep within, I draw around the mat. So I can't even truly turn my body, I have to really sleep mindfully, very mindful throughout, so that the moment if I turn over, I rub, all the chalk's gone, and then the ants will come and bite me. It's very painful. And in Thailand, they have one type of ants that eat meat. One day, because I saw with my own eyes that those worms, is quite big. I initially, everything is very big. I thought it's huge. I thought it's a baby snake, but actually it's not a baby snake. It's worms. It's quite thick like this and quite long. And I saw a whole group of ants. Those ants very big. And that's ants like really eaten alive, those ants. And I was bitten before, it's like electric shock when they beat you. Very painful, very, very painful. And I'm okay with that, even though it's not that so comfortable. But because I don't think that is a problem to me. So then if you think that it's not a problem, then it's no problem. That's like life is like that. Like things don't always go our way. So there's that things don't go our way. To me, like it doesn't bother me, because to me that things don't go my way is normal. If things go things goes my way, it's a bonus to me. So this, and then actually you don't create so much suffering for yourself. That's why it depends on your attitude, how you look at things. How you can choose how you look at it, isn't it? You can dwell in the negativities, or you can look at it in a positive way. That is a choice you choose. If you look at it, if your attitude with the positive mindset, nothing is no problem at all. We don't have to. People focus on trying to get rid of all the suffering. You can't. That is part of the samsara. The song is in the samsara. You have happiness, you have suffering. But you can always enjoy happiness, in the midst of suffering. That is one of the Chinese saying. You still can enjoy your life, happiness, in the midst of suffering. Like for me, yes, physically I do have this suffering, but I'm okay. I was really peaceful and calm, and I was really happy with that. I don't mind, that with the heat, with the mosquitoes and the insects, being bitten by insects, and also I haven't bitten by snakes. Yeah, at that time, actually, lots of snakes. Every day you see snakes, and then come to a point you get used to it. It's really huge. I remember one day, the lady kuti, a snake entered into her kuti, and then she can't go in to sleep. And then I said, okay. She said, can you remove the snake? The snake is about this. It's not that big. It's this. And then it's this thick. I think it's like this thick. There with black and some yellow, strips, Then was in her altar. Then I said, what to do? I said, okay. I said, I remove. But just when you're very peaceful and calm, actually you have no fear. At that time, I don't have any fear at all. And then she asked me, there's a snake in my kuti. I can't go back and sleep. So what to do? I said, okay, I'll remove it for you. And then after that, people said, oh, you're so brave. I said, that moment, I really didn't think of anything at all. And then someone gave me a candle, so short. I said, how come you ask me to? I said, it's too short. Then they give me a longer stick, this long. So I remove. But when I remove, actually I remove very carefully, and like I have metta towards the snakes, that I have no intention to really harm you. I just want to take you away from here. So very mindfully, I just use a long stick, just to remove the snake out of the kuti. And when you're peaceful, when you're calm, actually you're you don't have that fear, because when your mind is peaceful and calm, actually you don't have that fear at all. And I never thought of that. And she asked me to remove, I just remove. I never thought of anything, never think that, the snake is going to bite me, because I don't really go into, thinking into that negativities, thinking about all the unwholesome thoughts. It's like sometimes it's okay. We practice is not to try to prevent these unwholesome thoughts arises. It's okay. Unwholesome thoughts, you're thinking of something that is unwholesome, if it arises that moment, it's okay. We not try to prevent that, but you just recognize that, okay? And then acknowledge, and you let it be, it will stop. It come and go. We don't feed it. If you don't feed it, you are not reinforcing it. And it will subside by itself. It just come and go. It just go away. So that's why sometimes we think that we have to have zero suffering, then only we be happy. No, you can't. And then depends on, it's a choice. You choose whether, that if you want to persuade that, if you want to follow that, sometimes we suffer also partly because we try to get rid of suffering rather than we try to understand suffering. Why we suffer? What leading up to this? what is the cause of that. So most people tend to treat the symptom, try to get rid of the symptom, but not to look at the cause, look at the root, what causes that, what leading up to that. So when if you just treat the symptom, yes, it go back to square one again, isn't it? Because the problem is not resolved, it's still there, because you only treat the symptom. But you go into the look it into that. What leading to that? What causes that suffering? Why I suffer? To look at that, what leading up to that, to understand that. But if you keep focus of getting rid of all your suffering, then at last I'll be happy ever after. You're not going to be happy at all if you think that you try to get rid of your suffering. No, but to understand that, to see that, sometimes to understand that if I follow these unwholesome thoughts, what is leading up to? That you when you follow the unwholesome thoughts, and then you lead to unwholesome emotion, and the negative emotion drains a lot of energy. And also it's a choice also. What kind of happiness that you're going to pursue? Like the Buddha never denied happiness come from the senses. So the Buddhists mentioned about wholesome happiness and unwholesome happiness. So what the Buddha said, what is unwholesome happiness? Unwholesome happiness like indulge in your sensory pleasure. Like it doesn't mean that you cannot, and like some people think that I shouldn't enjoy my food. No, you still can enjoy your food, but you are not keep thinking of how, attach that how I'm going to get this, how I'm to get more, and greed, have greed that you want more. But yes, when there is contact, feeling arises, you like it, you don't like it. But where we get hooked is that when we hold on to the likes and dislikes, when something that is pleasant, and then we hook on to, I like this, I want more. That is when the attachment comes. And things that we don't like, we craving not to be, that we try to get rid of that, the rejection. And that's, you create more ill will. And that's actually, we look at that, that's what causes us suffering. If I follow these unwholesome thoughts, and it will lead us to more suffering. And then the happiness, like, seeking for things that, all the sensory pleasure, getting more and more excitement. Of course, we are still in the world, we're still in the sensory world. Doesn't mean we don't cut ourselves off. It's not about not hearing, not seeing and not touching. It's not tasting. It's not about that. It's how, when you use it, how you relate to the object. It's not the object is a problem, and how you use it. It doesn't mean that, you don't have to feel guilty. Sometimes people feel guilty if they enjoy their food. You don't have to feel guilty when you enjoy your food. It's okay. It tastes good. That's it. You leave it at that. Like the happiness comes from you indulge in your sensory pleasure, and then the happiness comes from getting more and more, and getting more and more excitement, and that drains the mental energy, because that kind of energy is relies on excitement, the excitement. And if your energy is come from that excitement, and each time your level of excitement have to goes up, one more level, and it's never end. So the Buddha said this is the unwholesome type of happiness. It's just like a borrowed happiness, but you have to pay interest, that you have to pay interest. Then it drains the energy. The other happiness is come from meditation, being still. Like, for example, practicing generosity by giving, and you feel happy. This kind of happiness comes from giving, the Buddha said. And this happiness leads you to peace, leads you to freedom. The Buddha said this is wholesome happiness that leads you to peace and leads you to liberation, leads you to freedom. So you have a choice. If you want to persuade those happiness that leads you to more suffering, and you can go ahead to persuade that. It's not good or bad. The Buddha never judged. It's not that it's bad. So the Buddha said whatever that is unwholesome, It's not good or bad that leads you to suffering. Something that unskillful leads you to suffering. Anything that is a wholesome, thing that is skillful, that leads you to happiness. And it's up to you, your choice. It's a gain. It's your choice. That's why it's up to you. If you want to suffer, no one can stop you. That's why happiness is a choice. That's why you choose to be happy, then you be happy. If you choose to suffer, you will continue to suffer. So it's which way that you want to go. And it's always, it's not what you have to deal with. It's really a problem. It's not the object. It's not the situation is a problem. It's how you relate to the situation. That's why it needs a lot of practice. It takes a lot of clarity. When your mind is peaceful and calm and you have the clarity, you'll be able to see that the things, what are the things that we follow that are going to lead us to more suffering? What are the things that we follow that lead us to freedom and happiness? So I offer this for Dharma reflection. May this teaching be of benefit to all of you. Okay. So now it's your choice, okay? So any questions or comments?
Just a question about, say, you talk about anger. Sometimes we are aware of anger. Let's say, anger is arising. I'm angry. And don't react.
Okay.
But somehow or other, you actually reacted to.
Actually, that's right. The point is that we shouldn't think that we shouldn't react. Sometimes you react. For example, I choose to trust people. Then if people cheated on me, I was like, I'm very happy you cheated on me, Or you don't, isn't it? Of course you're a bit, it's terrible. But I don't go on and on, That I just aware of that, how my reaction. But then I'm not hooked onto that, go on and develop a lot of anger, hatred towards that person. So whatever, when there is a contact, feeling arises, anger comes, then you know that you're angry. You know that anger is there. But you choose not to reinforce. That is where you don't get hooked. It is not what comes out in this. The practice is not how to stop and prevent that the anger come or whatever unwholesome feelings or unwholesome emotion. It's not to try to stop that or prevent that to come out. It comes out, it's okay. You look at it, not get hooked. Not thinking about it or how terrible this person go on, and then you reinforce that, and then you start to develop more and more anger because you reinforce that. So it's okay that it's there. Just to acknowledge, just recognize and acknowledge and accept that it's there. Not to reinforce it, not to get. That is where, when you are not mindful, that you get hooked, and then you follow that trend of thoughts, and then you go to Siberia without how you go there. You're not mindful, you just follow the thoughts, go on and on and on to Siberia, and then when you get there, how did I get here? Okay, does that answer your question? Okay. Ajahn Hasapanna, may I ask, how do you feel about talk therapy? Sometimes also you don't believe. Sometimes also we cannot believe what we think also, isn't it? I think it's good that you just, to me, I personally think that you just practice present moment awareness. Just bring your mind to present moment awareness, just to observe that. But sometimes maybe people think that they need to talk. Lots of those unresolved emotions, they need to release, and that is a way of release. But that is only only treat only you treat the symptom, but it's not going to the root. You feel better after you talk, you release, isn't it? You talk to someone, you feel better. Then after that, you go back to square one, isn't it? But you truly have to work on, you truly have to develop your mindfulness, your awareness, and to have more clarity, have the wisdom to really look at the root, to look at it on a more deeper level. Sometimes what we see is only on the surface. Actually, it's more than that. Because our mind is not refined enough to be able to see the deeper layer. That's why we have to practice. When our mind becomes more and more refined, we be able to see things that we usually can't see. And it's not that they give that you feel a bit better, but you truly have to really work on that. Some of those emotions, some of the issues, some of the emotions that haven't been resolved, you have to really work on that. But that is really go into the root. But this is only like, it's just treated symptom. It's just, for example, like some people have headache. So sometimes some of the illness that lead to that headache. But if you just take Panadol, yes, you stop the pain. But your problem is not solved, but you're not going to the root. And this is just like more treating the symptom, But at least give you a bit of relief, you feel better. But it's not really going to treat the root, the cause of your problem. And how do I deal with painful memory? So when painful memory arises, then you can, one of the methods is very useful because it's help, because you can do breathing exercise, you can do breathing, when the memory comes out. Because if you follow that memory, actually you reinforce. But that's why the first thing, follow the memory. That's why one of the way you can help is to do body awareness is really good, because the painful memory is more a mental object, and it's more subtle, especially when your mindfulness is not strong and your mind is not peaceful enough. If you are not stable enough, it's very difficult to really be able to observe that, because it's a more refined object. That's why I always encourage people go back to the causal object, like your body, sensation and feelings, because whatever emotion comes out, actually it's manifests in your body. Like sometimes when we have anxieties, you feel that there is tension in your body. So you go focus on your body, and so that you're actually to stop the mind from following to the memory, Then when you follow that and you reinforce it, and that will help do body awareness, to just aware how you feel. And you can also do the breathing exercise when these painful memories arise that moment. You just do breathing in, just relax your body, just take 3 deep breaths, breathing in that painful memory, breathing out peace. So you make peace with that. So not to try to push it away, not try to deny that, but recognize that's how you feel. This is how you feel. So when that is the painful memory pops up, so how do you feel? And sometimes people feel there is a tightness in the chest, so you can focus on your tightness. You can do the breathing exercise, that breathing in, that the unpleasantness, breathing out peace. So you make peace with that. That give the impact to your mind is okay. Most people try to push it away, try to run away, like in denying. We are not in denying. We recognize that it's there. It's okay. It's okay. It's there. Because the more you try to get rid of it, the more you try to push it away, I tell you, it becomes more intense. We have someone have just separation, just going through a divorce, and I don't want to think of my ex, and then she tried to occupy herself doing all sorts of stuff, like going to all sorts of classes, yoga, and keep herself so busy so that she don't have time to think of her ex. But the more she do that, she think more. Then I told her, it doesn't work that way. I said, it's okay. I said, it's okay if you think of him. Oh, no big deal. He said, very interesting. I still think of him. Isn't it? Then it will subside. Isn't it? The more you tell yourself not to think, you think more, isn't it? So that's why not try to push it away. So recognize and acknowledge. That's just that to accept that, to acknowledge that how you feel. And know it, just to acknowledge that, not try to deny or try to push off, try to suppress. When we do that, actually we reinforce that. So we just recognize that and okay, this is how I feel. And you can do breathing exercise, you can do body awareness, focus on your body. Because sometimes when that emotion come out, actually your body reacts. When in early days, I can feel if I started to feel nervous, I feel my body tense up. Then I know that it's coming. Then I just sit there, focus on my body, focus on the tension, the tightness of my body. Then after that, it subsides. But if you think about it and try to get rid of it, try to force yourself not to think about it, you think more. So not to try to push it. Meditation is not try to deny or try to ignore or try to pretend that it's not there. But just to observe whatever is happening in this moment as it is. Just look at it and let it be. Because all this phenomenon is come and go. Then the more you do that, and that is where you started to develop your confidence. Because you know that it won't stay. And then you have the confidence, okay, it won't stay. You know that it won't stay. It come and go. And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. Anyway, and nothing stays. Even happiness also won't stay. Suffering also won't stay. But when you understand that, this is where you free yourself. This is your liberation. So, any more questions or comments? Any more questions, comments? No? All happy customer? Satisfied? So next time should give you, after that, the survey, how many star review. Okay. So good night. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivade Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasam Supatipannom Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangham Sangham Namah